Hi there, what is up my friends? Welcome to my channel. Well, here's my portfolio, and as you guys know, I've been selling puts and occasionally I've sold some calls. So today I sold a put on the Robinhood stock, HOOD, for a strike price of 113, and I should be collecting a premium at the end of the week for about $155. So on most stocks, it usually is a week. You can't do calls or puts on a daily basis. So by Friday, hopefully, uh, as long as the price of HOOD stays above $113, then I should collect that premium of $155. Now, the reason I chose HOOD or Hood to sell a put on is because it really wasn't that expensive. It doesn't take up that much of my collateral or that much of my buying power to potentially have to buy 100 shares of HOOD. It's about a little bit over $10,000, close to like $12,000 to own 100 shares of HOOD at a strike price of 113. So I figured, doesn't take that much money to sell a put, and I could potentially make $155 by Friday. So hopefully that's what happens. I also sold a put on SPY this morning, which that one was profitable. So if we go over to SPY, I have it here on this list right here. So early this morning, as soon as the market opened, I sold a put on SPY. So let's take a look and see if it's down here. It should be down here in the history. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. So I should be getting paid this $69 later when this goes through. So it was one contract here, one contract on Hood, and last Friday I sold a put also on QQQ, which expired today. That also expired and it was profitable. So let's take a look at that. It was a put on QQQ. So let's just wait for this to open up. Here it is. And so let's look at QQQ so you guys can see that I should be making a little bit over $200 on that one. So if we scroll down, okay, scroll all the way down so you guys can see that I should be getting $232 for this put that I sold on Friday, which expired today. So I should be receiving all of that collateral back into my buying power, which is about over $100,000 worth of buying power. So soon my buying power will increase back to what it was before, and I will be receiving these premiums for selling these puts. And so now, since I'm going to be getting that money back, I will be selling another put tomorrow on QQQ and another put on SPY. So if we look here at the past week, we're pretty much here at a peak on QQQ at 628 and 48 cents. So I assume what's coming next is probably something like this. This peak is not as high as this one. Let's see if it's as high as this other peak over here. And nope, it's not. So far, I guess this is a new all-time high right here. So I assume that it's probably going to pull back at least like maybe $3. So this hit a 27 and then pulled back to 620. So that was quite a drop right there. That was like a $7 drop almost. So from here, if it drops by $7, let's say it drops again by $7, I'm thinking about like a 622 maybe. So if we go over here to the options and we open up this option chain and we want to sell, I want to sell a put. And I want to sell a put that expires on the same day, which is tomorrow. And let's just take a look and see what's available here. So I'm thinking about the 622, 623. So if we look here at the 622, that would be $55. The 623 would be $69 for the day. Now, of course, depending on what the price does tomorrow, if the price does drop during after hours, then these will change tomorrow. If the price remains low tomorrow, say the price is already at 622, that means that these will be more valuable. And if that's the case, then I'll probably just go a little bit under. For example, if it's 622 tomorrow at market open, I'm thinking that I will probably go for the 620. If it's at 23, I'm probably going to go for the 621 and just sell those calls immediately to receive that premium immediately. Now let's take a look at SPY, because I'll have enough collateral, I'll have enough money to also sell a call on a put on SPY. So if we go to SPY, oh sorry, I hit the button there. Let's just put it in here, SPY. So let's take a look at SPY and see what's available to sell for tomorrow. So pretty much it's the same thing here. SPY has hit a new all-time high, so pretty sure there's going to be some kind of a pullback, maybe something like this here. This hit a high of 694 and came down to 689. So 94 to 89. So yeah, that's about somewhere like about I'd say like about $7 to $8 drop. So here we're at 695. So I'm assuming that something similar is probably going to happen tomorrow. This is gonna, from here, it's gonna pull back. So if it's at 95, this is at 89. I'm thinking of maybe somewhere in the 88, 87 range maybe. So let's look at the options chain here. And of course we want to sell a put for tomorrow, the 13th. And let's take a look here what's available. So it's way down there, I guess. There it is. Okay, so if the peak was 695, I'm thinking about like a 688 maybe. 688, according to this, is 18 cents. That's a bit low. So let's go a little bit higher. Maybe the 689, 690, maybe one of these two, depending on, of course, what the price per share turns out to be tomorrow at market open. So these prices always change. Tomorrow at 6:30, this will not be, these prices here will not be the same tomorrow. So if this price continues to drop, then these will become more valuable. And if they become more valuable, then I'll probably go for something a little bit lower. And we'll see what kind of premium I can collect for tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to be doing for tomorrow. And of course, hopefully, Hood continues to, either go sideways at 117. So let's look at the price of Hood. HOOD, Robinhood. Currently, it's at 117, I believe. So hopefully, Yeah, there it is, 117. So this has also kind of peaked here. So as you can see, it's gone up, but it's not an all-time high. I guess this is probably the all-time high, maybe. Let's look at the 1 year. No, the all-time high is up here, 152 and 46 cents. So it's kind of, I guess, heading down maybe from here. So hopefully this kind of just moves sideways here, because I really don't want to own it. Down here is 113. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully it just kind of moves sideways, because I really don't want to own it. But if I do happen to have to own this at $113, then I will immediately begin to sell covered calls on it. That's what I'll do. The good thing is it doesn't really take up too much of my capital. It won't take too much of my collateral away from me. So yeah, that's what I'll do if I do have to happen to own it by Friday, which I'm hoping that I don't have to own it by Friday, and then I could just continue to sell puts. And so currently, if we look at overall my portfolio here, we have been steadily rising. We're headed to 219,000. Currently, still my largest position is SGov. I have not had to sell any SGov whatsoever. Although earlier today I did sell some because I wanted to sell one more put on IWMY. I mean on IWM. So if we go to IWM, now this is the Russell 2000, and with the Russell 2000 you can sell also daily puts. So you can sell a put that expires also on the same day. So I was going to do that, but it required that I sell some shares of SGov. Initially, it told me that I had to sell about $3,000 worth of SGov to be able to sell a put on the Russell 2000. So I did that. And then I tried to sell a put again. Then it said I needed to sell another $2,000 worth. And so sold $2,000 worth, tried it again, tried to sell another put, tried to sell a put again. Then it asked for another $1,000, and I was like, you know what, forget this. I decided not to do it after all. So I did end up selling some SGov to try to sell another put on IWM, because you can sell daily calls on this. Although the premiums are kind of low for this ETF, that's why I chose to do HOOD, or Hood, Robinhood. So if we look back over here, I did end up selling some shares, like I said, of SGov. And so if we open up SGov, I don't know how many shares I sold. I sold like about $7,000, close to $8,000 worth of SGov. And what I ended up doing was I ended up putting that close to $8,000 into an ETF. It's it's Box, basically BOXX, Box. Now this ETF is somewhat similar to SGov. The only difference is that this does not pay a dividend. So SGov pays a dividend. This does not pay a dividend. And so if we look at the return here, it's basically moving up. It's very, very similar to SGov. If we look at them both here on this comparison tool, here's SGov in the blue and Box in the orange. So as you can see, in the past year, they've basically done the same thing. The only difference is that Box does not pay a dividend. Now this is total return. SGov does pay a monthly dividend. So if we switch this over to price return, you guys will be able to see the difference here. So as you guys can see, Box does not pay a dividend. That's why its total return is the same, right? And SGov pays a dividend. So that's why it's basically the total return is moving sideways here. So it's basically at a 0.04%. So as long as you buy SGov in this dip here, you're not going to lose any money because you bought it at the low point, and then it peaks and then resets. It resets to pay you that dividend. So for the meantime being, I'm holding that cash in box, waiting for SGov to go into its dip. So it will be dipping at the end of the month. Once that happens, once SGov dips, then I'll be selling box. I'll be selling this off and putting it back into SGov. So what I'm going to be doing here is that every time I get paid, I'm going to be buying box. I'm going to be buying this ETF. Doesn't pay a dividend, but it just consistently grows, month after month after month. And when SGov does its dip, does its monthly reset, I guess you could say, then I will be selling box and buying SGov. And I will be borrowing against my SGov position to sell puts and, of course, sell calls. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So as you guys can see here, let's go to the 3-month. So eventually, SGov will reset down here. As you guys can see, it'll go back up and then reset again, and so on and so forth. So once it bottoms out here, then I'm going to buy right here, sell box and buy more SGov right here, and then just let it ride up. And so let me show you guys just how much I can make from just holding SGov. So if we go over here to my dividend tracker, this is my dividend tracker. As you guys can see, I have it as accurate as possible, owning box and SGov. And so if we go to dividends, SGov pays a dividend and box does not pay a dividend. So if we scroll down here, it only says SGov because SGov is the only ETF out of these two that pays a dividend. So according to this information here, I should be making about $722 per month just from holding SGov. So I expect to make this amount every month from SGov, just from holding SGov, and borrowing against my SGov to sell puts. So if we look over here at my buying power, here's my buying power, currently at a little bit over $88,000. If we open this up, you guys will be able to see that there is just a little bit over $140,000 worth of collateral for those options that I have. 3 options currently. 2 of them are going to expire, by 9 o'clock tonight. And then this collateral will go back into buying power. And so we'll just rinse and repeat the process all over again. And so far, if we go back to here, let me just show you guys how much I've made this week. Let me make this go back up. So if we scroll down, this will show you guys just how much I've made this week down here. Let's keep going, keep going. And let's see here. Oh, unusual. It doesn't show it here. On the app, it does show it. It shows how much you've made in the past month and the past week. I know it's in here somewhere. It's got to be. Let's see. Maybe I passed it already. Okay, it's not here. Maybe it's on this side. Let's see. Let's close that, close that, close that one, close that, close this, and let's see here. Nope, no, it doesn't show it. Okay, on my phone it does show how much I've made this week in premiums. It's close to $1,000, about 900 and some odd dollars that I've made this week. So from now on, so far, I am just going to be doing this myself instead of owning an ETF like SPY or T-SPY. If we go to T-SPY, not that it's a bad ETF, I do like T-SPY. It is a good ETF, and they pay a monthly dividend every month. So far, I could say that it's been doing well. If we look at the past year on T-SPY, so far, not too bad. It's down a little bit. If we look at the full time, 5 years, yeah, it's not been doing too bad. Basically just going sideways here and paying you a dividend. The one that has been doing a little bit better in performance would be SPY, SPYI, which is also an ETF that I like. I don't dislike this ETF. It's a good ETF. If we look at the all-time, as you guys can see, it's done well, right? It's up a little bit over 6%. Plus it pays a monthly dividend of if I owned this with all my money, I would make about $2,000 a month. But then, well, why would I do that if I can make potentially $1,000 per week, which, so far I almost have made that already. So no reason for me to own SPY. So not only will I make close to over $700 a month from owning SGov, which is basically just a cash equivalent that's going to keep my principal safe. I'm also selling calls, which will generate, whatever I can make every day. So personally, I think I'm better off just doing this myself. This wheel strategy is what it's called. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. You guys been helping me out a whole lot if you did that for me. If you do like this content, please, if you have any questions, any comments, if you think this is a good idea or bad idea, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd appreciate it. Well, you guys have a great one. God bless. We will catch you in the next video. Bye.